How's it going, everyone? We've got quite a lot to talk about in this video. Some major leaks are already happening ahead of the Game Awards. I'll talk about one. It's not like a big reveal or anything like that, but we have an indication of when one of my more anticipated games of 2025 is going to come out, so we'll talk about that. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has gotten a major free update, and a couple of games have gotten updates on their PS5 Pro versions that I think is necessary across the board. We'll talk that at the end of this video, but right off the bat, there is a trailer for Mafia: The Old Country that is circulating online. It is supposed to debut tonight. The trailer, that is. We already know that the game is coming out in 2025, and the trailer does note that the game is coming summer of 2025 for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. I am really excited for Mafia: The Old Country. Mafia is a franchise that I've always been a big fan of, even if Mafia 3 was certainly a bit of a disappointing game. I know that it was incredibly divisive, but there's still stuff to like about Mafia 3. I still thought it was a pretty good game, and Mafia: The Old Country I think can shape up to be a stellar game in 2025. And on top of that, with the rumblings that GTA is potentially going to be a 2026 game, and that is looking more and more likely, Mafia is one of those titles that I do think it's best if that game is far away from GTA. You know, open world, crime-centric title, I get it, the setting is totally different, and the game would do well regardless, but I just think for the benefit of a game like Mafia, best to release ahead of GTA or just not around the same time. So excited for that. We should see the full trailer tonight, and again, I am expecting a big show at the Game Awards tonight. Look, I am not the only one that is talking about these rumors, and why I am somewhat confident that this is going to be a big show is Jeff Keighley has realized that some of the Summer Game Fest have been disappointing, and now what he does is he'll come right out and be like, hey, just to lessen your guys' anticipation and excitement, this is what's going on, don't expect anything insane. I am not the only one that is talking about the potential of crazy stuff going down tonight and crazy reveals. The fact that he hasn't said anything about it and he hasn't put the kibosh on it immediately, being like, temper your expectations, it's not going to be that big, there's not going to be that many reveals, that to me makes me think that even if it's not a Half-Life 3 or Bloodborne remaster, because let's be real, that is, you know, absolute top shelf level stuff, it could still be a good show, and I've seen a lot of games that I didn't even think about as potential reveals being thrown out there. I mean, if Metaphor ends up winning Game of the Year, doesn't it make sense to reveal Persona 6? I mean, that would make a lot of sense in terms of if you're talking about games that fit the oh my god criteria. Persona 6, Final Fantasy IX Remake. You know, I know I'm going down the well of Japanese RPGs, but y'all already know the kind of guy I am as far as the games I get excited for. Those would be two pretty massive reveals as well. The FF9 Remake, personally, I'm not that excited about it. Like, I didn't vibe with FF9 as much as a lot of other people, but nevertheless, I do expect a big show tonight in Mafia: The Old Country. We already know that the trailer is going to be there tonight. Borderlands 4, another game. While I've been a bit disenfranchised with Borderlands and I'm not as crazy about it as I once was, it's still a fairly notable series that is going to be pretty big. So, you know, that's a game that's going to be exciting to see as well. Moving on from that, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has gotten a sizable free update on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. I won't go over everything, but now all stages are now able to be selected in offline PvP battles, player 1 versus player 2 battles. I don't know why this wasn't available at launch. They got it working. I had thought maybe Sparking Zero was going to be one of those games that is going to get updated throughout this entire generation, and then, you know, before you know it, it's going to be 2028, the next gen consoles are going to come out, and then they'll bring out Sparking Zero, the Ultimate Edition, and be like, hey, we got split screen now, but all stages would be selectable. I thought that would be a pretty good caveat to get people to rebuy the game or upgrade to a potential next-gen version 4 years from now. Apparently it doesn't need to be on PlayStation 6 for them to figure this one out, so good to see them figuring that out. On top of that, a wealth of updates and balancing functionality adjustments as well. Battle setup changes, ranked matches and player match changes, custom battle modes, options, high-speed Dragon Dash is a brand new action that's been added, smash attack adjusted, Rush Kai Blast deflection, step, Z burst dash, burst smash blast. It's a ton of stuff. Obviously, Sparking Zero is a game that I really enjoyed, but if anybody was ever expecting this game to be entirely balanced and be a game that is super polished in terms of the nuances and making sure that every character fit this competitive scene criteria, you were out to lunch with that kind of thinking. Sparking Zero was never going to be that kind of game. It's an arcadey fighter that is embedded with a lot of, let's just be honest, a lot of nonsense. There's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of, just absurd nonsense. Like Yajirobe being insane a while ago, I just thought that was funny, but people were getting super tilted about it, and then they adjusted that as well, and I get it. Do the adjustments. I'm not saying don't do the adjustments. It's just, I never expected this to be a game that I got super into from a competitive standpoint. I just don't do that with fighting games in general, so maybe I'm thinking about it from a different viewpoint, but at the same time, there were some aspects of this game that just made it, I wouldn't say unplayable, but damn near infuriating to play. There's a happy balance. You can be an arcadey style game, but you could also have a little bit of, adjustments made in terms of creating a more compelling game experience, and I feel like they're doing that with this free update. Lastly, I do want to cover a couple of things. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora Update 1.013 and Star Wars Outlaws are both adjusting the same thing for PlayStation 5 Pro, enabling a PSSR toggle option. So now you can switch between PSSR and AMD FSR. PSSR, by all accounts at this point, is the superior technology. However, it is great to have this option because when you talk about AI technology like this, like PSSR, like NVIDIA DLS, like FSR, like NVIDIA frame generation, all of this stuff interacts with games in a completely different way. While Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is one of the standout elements and standout games that showcases PSSR and showcases how good it is, not every game is going to be in line with that. There are different engines, different development strategies with games, and they're all going to interact and utilize PSSR differently, and some games we've seen, let's just be honest, it hasn't been the best turnout. So giving you the option between PSSR and FSR I think is great, and also they should bake in an option that lets games run as if you were playing on the base PS5. I think that would do a lot well, like something you can go into a setting and just say emulate the base PS5 or something like that. I think that makes a lot of sense just because not every game is interacting with the PS5 Pro the best way possible. I'm not saying like this as to completely crap on the PS5 Pro. Obviously, it's a $700 console. You would want every game to be completely enhanced, but I'm just talking about from the standpoint of offering people an option. You always want to give the gamer and consumer the most amount of options possible, and having stuff like being able to toggle between PSSR and FSR, and the idea of toggling between an emulated base PS5 and the PS5 Pro, I think that's just giving people more options, and more options, even if you're talking about lessening the performance, it's not a bad thing because it's exactly that. It's an option. There might be instances where it is beneficial to emulate a base PS5 to play a PS5 game where it doesn't operate as well on the PS5 Pro for whatever reason. As a patch or something is being worked on, that would just make a lot of sense. But that is going to do it for me. Again, Mafia the Old Country, a major trailer leak ahead of the Game Awards, expecting a big show tonight, so we'll see how that turns out. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero gets a major free update. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora and Star Wars Outlaws gets an update that I think a lot of other games should be implementing. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.